Hello, hello, hello for whoever's watching. If you're watching on Facebook, I would love you to come over onto Zoom. You can definitely see both places, but it's going to be easier for me to answer questions on Zoom than it is from my phone where the Facebook Live currently is. Also, I'm not sure that I will be able to show you the slides, but I have certainly put them into the Facebook group for you. For anybody who's watching the replay, you can either watch the replay on Facebook or in the recording that we will be sending out to you. We will also be pinning these recordings at the top of each group. And that is because on the Zoom, they'll actually be able to see the slides. So I do definitely want you to get the most out of it. If you have any questions, certainly let me know. We have a busy day ahead. We have a busy week ahead. So I'm so excited to be here with you as we learn about all of these different things that I'm so passionate about. And then I'm so excited that you have decided to take a step into yourself and join us this week to do that. It is an emotional, hard decision to think that you might want to actually change your career, but you never know. So again, if you're on the Facebook, you might want to join us on the Zoom because it'll be easier for me to reply back because my Facebook Live is on my phone. So if you have the opportunity, I'll wait a couple minutes before I really dig in. Before we do that, maybe I'll tell you a little bit about myself for those who don't know. Another step forward is I do know quite a few of you did not join the Facebook group yet. If you could kindly do that and our email list. If you want to just send me a message for the emails, that would be greatly appreciated because we will be sending you the replays and little nuggets each day. And at the end, we will also be doing a draw, and it is a good way if you can't post on Facebook to actually submit any homework. Yes, there will be homework. The homework is to actually benefit the journey that you will have this week. And I know I feel like a teacher sending homework. It seems like a bad thing, but it is a really good thing. And there is a chance to win prizes throughout the week. So the big prize for the homework is a chance to win a $50 gift card to the store of your choice and be entered in to win our one scholarship that we are going to be giving away to our Evolution Blueprint 10-week program at the end of the whole challenge. So we are in store for a whole 5 weeks or 5 days plus 4 extra bonus days, which is going to be so fun. So fun. I'm just going to share my screen here so people can see on the recording. I'm so excited to get started with you guys. For those on Facebook, please bring up your slides. So this week is the 5-day challenge, the Career Mindset Shift Challenge. And I will tell you that it is going to be a lot different, and there will be things that you don't understand as to why I am doing certain things that I am doing this week. I know when I brought it up to my team, they didn't quite understand why I was including certain things into the week. So this week, we're going to be talking about what are my options. So what are my options in leaving my job? What are my options in staying with my job? What are my options? What are my options? That's what we'll be discussing this week because it's very vital into learning about that. We'll be going over a lot of mindset because mindsets often have to shift when you think about leaving a job. So we want to make sure that you actually understand what your mindset is and how to continue to change your mindset as you move. I'm still working on mindset, and I've been doing this for over 2 years because sometimes you get those little things that happen, and I do apologize if there's noise in the background. I can hear it right now, but there are other people in my office, so it's a little fun. Mindset is something that you always are going to have to be working on because as we reach our goals, we're going to have to shift our mind to new goals. And new goals means new mindset to make sure that you're actually prepared for that mindset piece. So we're also going to be learning about fears and excuses, and you're going to be like, but that's mindset. Well, it can actually be different things. For me, it was PTSD for a little while. So as much as I worked on my mindset, I actually had to work on different things in my life, different therapy things that all the mindset tricks in the world wouldn't have changed. But they certainly help. So you have to be a whole person. So sometimes those fears and excuses, mindset can't actually help with. So we'll go over that because maybe it's not the job that you absolutely hate and are trying to leave. Maybe it is something from your past that you have to now work through and change in order to actually like anything in your life. And I know that seems a little silly, but it is true. It is what happens. We're also going to go over routines and habits because if you do decide to leave your job, you're going to become or have new routines and habits that are actually going to benefit you in the future. I'm going to take water. So these routines and habits you're going to have to create if you're going into a new job, another 9-to-5 traditional type job. I know not all our jobs are 9-to-5 that we do, but if you're going to leave your day job into another day job that we consider it, you're going to have these routines and habits. But I also want to emphasize the routines and habits for yourself, because a lot of times when we're really unhappy in something that we're doing, it can be our mindset. And if it's our mindset or our self-care, it can actually be more detrimental to ourselves. So I want to go into those routines and habits and having healthy routines and habits and seeing if sometimes those will help. Movement and decompression. I just went through severe burnout, so I want to ensure that people are taking care of themselves. So this is kind of like a self-care / mindset / career mindset shift challenge. It's a lot. We're also going to be going over journaling. And then the last 4 topics. When my team and I dreamt of this challenge, we were trying to think of the best way to deliver to you guys. And one of the things we wanted to do is be able to cater it to those who are watching, because we know that every time we run this program, we're going to have a different audience. And that audience is going to have different needs. So we're giving you the basics of what we know will work and are in both of our group programs that we run. So we have a 4-week group program and we have a 10-week group program, but we'll talk about that another day. Today, I'm just going to say that these are some of the basics that are in both of those programs that we know that work, but we want it to be most beneficial to you. So if it's a topic that we know about that can benefit you, we want to deliver that. So we don't actually schedule out those 4 days until the last couple of days, because we send out a survey, seeing what types of topics you want. You'll have a big list and you'll get to choose from that. So again, if you're not on our email list, please send us a message. We'll add you to the email list and you should receive reminders every day shortly after of the replay and any of the workbook stuff. So you should have just received a workbook today. That workbook has 4 pages. We will be adding to it all week. And if you would like, at the end of the week, having the whole one sent to you again, instead of all the pieces of paper, we can certainly do that. So feel free to plop any of your questions in on Zoom. I know we only have one on Zoom. I was told a bunch of you can't make this time and you're going to wait until Thursday to do the watch party, or you're going to watch the live later. I do understand that we all live in different time zones and that we were trying to do different things. Unfortunately, this is the best time that could fit me this week. Hopefully in the future, my schedule changes. Life of an entrepreneur, mom of 2, but my husband has switched to evenings. So evenings at home are almost impossible with 2 kids to actually be able to do this and deliver this. So when we do the watch party starting Thursday night, it's going to be fun. I will be active. You can ask any questions you want. I will be right there to answer. And it's easier to do it then and listen to myself and answer the questions than it is to have kids come in and interrupt the whole time. So again, this week is about you, and I want to deliver to you. So who am I? For those who don't know me, I'm Melissa Burbridge. I'm a mom of 2. I have an adorable fur baby, and anybody who knows, she is absolutely my fur baby. She's my support dog. She is like my safe haven. I have an amazing husband who is completely supportive. I love coffee. I love wine. I love the ocean. I love traveling. I love learning. There's a lot that I love to do. But the biggest thing I have learned over the last 1.5 years is I absolutely love helping other women achieve greatness or achieve going after a path that they want. So that is my passion, is to help other women. There is nothing that means more to me than watching another woman have a humongous breakthrough and shift that actually changes their mindset into going after something. Some of the most powerful moments have happened in doing my group programs in what we call a hot seat. The hot seat is where we'll bring women together and we will go over their biggest problem and we will talk about their biggest problem. And that's, I don't know, some of those shifts that happen just make us all teary. I'm also considered an influencer, and I don't really get that, but apparently I am an influencer. And I used to be a nurse and I went into becoming a CEO. So my business now, I own a digital media firm, and I also have a coaching business. I have one full-time staff, Rebecca, she is amazing. And I have a VA, Jen, she's absolutely amazing as well. Without my team, I wouldn't be able to do any of this. They have literally changed my life. If you are on the Zoom and you see this picture, that picture has great meaning. That picture is the day I decided what I was actually meant to do. So I created my own business. I had left. I had been doing a lot of things. I had made a lot of movement, but I still felt like something was missing. I had a podcast. At that point, I think it was still called the Danny and Me podcast, and we were shifting it into called Raise the Anchor. The premise behind that podcast is actually to inspire other women to make a change. Unfortunately, I did have a lot of males and females on the podcast who had life-changing decisions. You probably won't see as many men on there. It's not that I don't have anything against, but all of my group programs are geared towards women because we do go through some very emotional, touchy stuff that I want you to be able to open up and be able to do that. So I do cater to women. I'm not considered your normal feminist. I just feel that if I opened up the group programs to both men and females, the females probably won't be as open about the changes that they want. So I keep it strictly to females. Do we have any questions yet? Okay, so that picture was taken that day after a very big coaching session where two amazing coaches helped me realize that the premise behind the podcast was the premise I wanted to actually be doing. I had always wanted to build something past that. I just didn't know what. So we fleshed out my group programs that day, and it took me a full year to really kind of come to light and understand that I wanted to do that. I did run 2 beta groups. So we have gone through this group program. We have tweaked it. But yeah, that was an absolutely amazing day. So yes, I want this to be a fun, interactive week. I don't want it to be me talking to you at Zoom. I want to be doing polls. I want to be doing a lot more things through this week. And one of those is self-care bingo, because we are our own worst enemy when it comes to self-care. Sorry, it's really dry in here. So self-care is something that women think is a treat. It is not a treat. It is a right. We deserve to treat ourselves. Just because we're moms, just because we're wives, just because we run a household, we do everything, doesn't mean we have to forget about ourselves. Even if you're a single lady at your own home, you deserve to take care of yourself. You're taking care of something. You're running something. We all need to. So I decided to come up with a self-care bingo for this week, and I will open it up to others. And each of these things are something to help you relax or take care of yourself. So I'm giving you a little bit of an incentive with a $25 gift card for the person who does the most. I know it seems like a small prize, but it is a huge prize once you actually start taking some of the self-care. So in order to do that, I need you to either send a selfie or just a setup. These selfies and setups will not go anywhere. They're just going to be dropped into my DMs so that we have proof that you have done that. So obviously taking a long bath, I don't want naked photos sent to me, but you can send me a picture of your bath already. So do it within reason. And you will also be entered to win a scholarship to the Evolution Blueprint, which again, you will hear on another day. So this first exercise, and I know I'm going fast and we're only 15 minutes in. I talk way too fast. There will be other days this week that go much longer, but since you guys are being a little quiet, it's going to be a little shorter. I had originally wanted to know more about you. I sent it out in an email. I got a few replied back, but nobody is open to actually telling their story yet. So maybe by the end of the week you will. If not, we will maybe tweak that for the next time we do the challenge because people aren't comfortable yet. So before we get into what are my options, I'd like us to do a little journaling exercise. So before we can know what our options are, we really need to understand where we're coming from. So if you have your workbook there, you'll see the prompt that's at the top of that journal where I'm asking you what is wrong with your current job and why. The reason I want you to go through that journaling exercise is because sometimes I have found in the past that it has nothing to do with the actual job. It has to do with something external. So I want us to understand what is going on before we know our options. So if it is the job, this is also another good exercise so that we can figure out exactly what about that job we don't care for. Because sometimes you could be, let's say you could be a waitress, but maybe you really want to be the cook at that restaurant. So it's not the job itself, it's the job description at that place of employment that you want to be doing. So we could certainly work towards that. Maybe your company is not open to it because you're such a great waitress, but we could find you something somewhere else, or we could convince your boss why you should be a cook at that place. So these are all the things we need to work out. So I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to go through this. If you guys want, I can play a little bit of music, I think. Stop the share. We will take a 5-minute break and I will play you a little bit of music. Okay, the music doesn't want to play, so I will be back at 12:21. Oh, sorry. There's a little bit of internet. How are we doing? Do we need more time? Okay, maybe I'll move on to the next because we only have so much time today. Ooh. All right, so that is a journaling thing. That is your homework today. So if you haven't finished it, you're also going to have to journal what are my options. There's going to be a little piece about that. So we will definitely have you post your homework. If you don't want other people to see it, you can certainly send it to us. But to get points, we need to see your homework. So your homework can be posted under a thread, which will have this video there for you today. This live will not be there. I will be posting the Zoom once it's all complete, and you can post your homework directly under it. So I did have a couple of private messages for people who couldn't make it today, but had questions that they would like posted or answered during today. So one of them, obviously, we're going to talk about what are my options, but she wanted to know directly, does she have to leave her job today? Absolutely not. I'm not going to tell you to leave your job today. That is not what this challenge is about. This challenge is about figuring out if it is a career change you want, if it's something that you just need a little bit of mindset help with. So that is more what we're gearing this week towards. So what are my options is a great question. And I loved having that journal piece, because what are my options? We need to know, is it a job you want to leave? Is it a different type of job? Is it a different type of thing that you need education for? Those are all things we need to know before we can actually know what our options absolutely are. But I am going to jot down a couple of options you can have. Can you see this? You guys can't see this, so I don't know why. Full screen. Don't want that view. All right. Some of our stuff is new jobs using skills. Some of it's becoming an on. I know that word is spelt because spell check always tells me it is wrong. So I do apologize. I'm bad at grammar and I am bad at spelling. So these are some of our top options as to what can we do next. So obviously we can go into a new job as long as it's within the same class. Maybe it's a different location, which we do have resources to help you figure that piece out. Sometimes it's really sitting down with somebody, which we do in the group program a lot, is looking at all of our skills, because all of our skills can be transferable. I was a nurse, now I'm a CEO. Those things that I used as a nurse help me organize my business. Because as a community nurse, I would have to organize all of my gear, my whole day, to figure out and go to all of my clients and make sure that everybody was attended or taken care of. So I would use my transferable skills in organization into my business. Now, it took a little bit of time to really understand that piece, but the management piece of organizing my day and stuff definitely transferred into my everyday now. Becoming an entrepreneur is another option. It is a big thing now with online working, digital working, or creating your own business. You never know if you have that brilliant idea. I mean, somebody made millions making a pool noodle. So you just never know what you can do. So we certainly try and flesh that out. Had you told me 5 years ago that I would be teaching social media, digital media, doing websites, coaching other women, I would have said absolutely not. Like, I'm going to be a nurse forever. There's no two ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm going to be doing this forever. Unfortunately, things happened. And now I'm doing what I do, and I absolutely love it way more than I ever could have thought. I loved being a nurse. I did not like the politics. I also didn't like moving from one place to another and having to downgrade my skills. That took a big hit. It took a big mindset shift in my head to understand why I would have to do that, because different places have different rules. So whether you're in Canada or the US, every place you move might have different laws or restrictions that could prevent you in doing what job you want. So we want to make sure that you do what you do. So going into an entrepreneur is a lot of mindset, different things that you have to be able to do. So we certainly want to be working on those again tomorrow. So if you have any questions, or if you are leaning towards any of these, definitely let me know and we can put it into the training for tomorrow. Today's training is going to be a little shorter because I wanted you guys to get into the swing of this week. I also wanted you guys to be doing the journaling and making sure that, you know, we have this good flow this week. Some of the days are going to be a little heavier with 45 minutes. I also want you guys to start submitting questions so that I can answer those questions. And going back to school is another option. So some of you guys are going to automatically tell me I'm too old to start over. I'm too old to be doing this. You're not. There was an astronaut, or what did she finished her Bachelor of Arts at 92. So you can go back to school, you can figure something out. And she's absolutely using that Bachelor of Arts. It wasn't just something she wanted to do. She is still working today at 95, I think. I just watched her show on the news the other day. It's absolutely amazing. She wanted to be able to reach a certain level in the place she was working, and she had to finish her Bachelor of Arts to be able to do that. So we can certainly go through any of these on those extra 4 days if you want to, but these are some of your options. What is my option? Or you could stay with your job and work on the mindset piece and figure out what is going on. So I want you to tell me if any of this was helpful. I want you to jot down what are my options in the journaling, in picking one of these choices and figuring out what about those choices you actually like. And then we can work and bring that into the next couple of days, because once we decide, say you wanted to be an entrepreneur, there's automatically going to be, I don't have business school, I don't have this, I don't have that. And we can work that into our mindset talk. So I do want to tell you the rest of the week is going to be a little longer. Today, I'm only going to be doing it for the 30 minutes so that we can get a fresh start, get all of our questions in play. Do submit your homework. You don't have to have it done by tomorrow, but by the end of Friday would be great. If you have any other questions, there will be people joining us throughout the week. We can certainly answer them. Another question that we just got is, how will I know what my options are? Well, sorry, it's so hot. To first understand what your options are, you need to know if it's a job you want to be leaving. So that's why we did the first journaling. So if you're still having questions about that piece, definitely reach out to me and we will figure that piece out. So I do want to say hello to everybody who has attended today. I do want to say thank you for those who are watching the replay. I also want to say thank you for everybody who has registered. I would love you to put your emails in so that we can start sending you that stuff out. I would also love you to join the Facebook group, because after Friday, all of our lives will be going into the Facebook group only. I'm doing the Zoom so that we can send you the recordings. The other 4s will only be going into the Facebook group. There will be no Zoom, because those 4 are going to be catered to you. So the next time we run this program, it is not going to be these subjects. So I wanted to make sure that we do what is catered to you perfectly. So I hope you have a good evening, and thank you for coming.